This video consists of several addenda to the main video. If you haven't already seen the main video, I highly encourage you to go watch it first. It'll be linked in the description. First, I'll cover some implications of the conclusion that a fetus has human moral worth. Then I'll address several subtleties of the case presented in the main video. The implications. Simply put, since the fetus has human moral worth, abortion should be prohibited. The temporary but likely severe restriction on liberty of forcing a woman to carry a child she would otherwise abort is a far lesser evil than permanently taking the fetus's life. Tragic though it may be, the math here is incredibly obvious. I should emphasize that I'm not insensitive to how prohibiting abortion, even though it is manifestly the correct decision, will have real consequences for many women. As deeply as I believe that abortion is a great evil that must be ended, I also believe that we should support these vulnerable women through generous financial support for new mothers in need, better adoption services, and everything else we can do to ameliorate any unfortunate side effects of banning abortion. It will likely be impossible to completely eliminate these side effects, but we, through supports like these, can certainly make them drastically less severe and far-reaching. On to the finer points of the proof in the previous video. The astute among you will have noticed two holes in that argument. The very astute among you will have already figured out how it can be extended to cover those holes. The first hole, and the easiest to patch, concerns the difference between a guaranteed and potential future. The main video treated a fetus being born and having a future human existence as a given. Such is not the case. Rather, the fetus merely has a potential future human existence. But it's easy to reformulate our argument to address this. Take again the case of John, who is in a deep coma. This time, however, there's only a quarter chance that he'll wake up after a year. If and only if he does, he'll return to normal life. Does this modified case make it acceptable to take him off life support? Of course not. If the chance were 0.5%, there would be a conversation to be had. But at a quarter, it's clear that he should be kept on life support until he has his chance to wake up. So what we learn here is that future human existence isn't actually necessary to confer human moral worth, but rather reasonably likely possible future human existence. Another possibility from the hypotheticals presented in the main video is that human moral worth is granted not by future human existence alone, but rather by only the combination of past and future human existence. This would be consistent with both the results from the hypotheticals in the main video. So how do we address this? Let's consider another hypothetical, baby Jimmy. Jimmy has just been born, or reached viability, or whatever point one starts to have present human existence. He, too, jumps from an airplane and, being a baby, is unable to activate his parachute. Like John, he falls into a deep coma, but he will awake and live a normal life after a year. In this case, should you take baby Jimmy off of life support? Of course not. Unlike John, baby Jimmy had no past human existence to speak of. He had only future human existence, and he still had human moral worth. So it must be future human existence alone that confers human moral worth, which in turn means that a fetus, which has only future human existence, has full human moral worth, the same as you or I. With those two additions, the case for the moral worth of the fetus should be pretty incontrovertible. That said, I'm always happy to hear your thoughts. Leave them below. Metaphysicist out.